Hello. So, someone had requested, and I'm sorry I did not. I did not write this down. It's a shame, but I did not. They wanted a kind of a compilation video of different bodies and armors that they could use. Now, because there is so much for women and so little for men, I assumed that they had meant women, and I think they posted it on something where I was doing some sort of clothing or armor spotlight. So anyway, so the first, I've got a list here that I'm going to try to go through, and if I see or think of any more, I will do them. I will try to cover as many of the variations as I can remember and think of. There are a lot, and some are a little harder to find than others. So if you see something you're interested in, you might want to take a note of it, because I had a hard time finding like this UNP body. I consider this to be the base UNP body. She's going to be kind of like the Cbb Curvy. She's going to be just kind of middle of the road, decent looking, a little on the slimmer side, but not. I don't mean like she's going to be skinny like slim, but she's going to be on the slimmer side. She's not going to be so curvy. Okay, maybe more athletic if you think of her that way. You can see in the picture here. So now you can probably find other versions of this, but this was the one that I could find, and I had to do quite a few different searches because I want to show it to you on the Xbox. I want you to see it here. So this one's by Modder725, and it's a small mod, and this is just a mesh. It has no texture, so you can use whatever skin texture you want. You can paint her up however you want, and of course you can use different hairs and things too. So this is the UMP body. Now there is right next here, this is technically supposed to be a texture mod. However, these texture mods come with a body built in. If you look down towards the bottom, this says it comes with UNP female body renewal meshes by Raise Zero. Anyway, and it has this underwear, and it has certain things. And when you use this Tampered Skins, you're going to get that body. That's going to be the body you're going to get, the underwear you get. If you're interested in that type of appearance, okay? And this is Tampered Skins for female. I prefer the tempered for men, but for female, I don't prefer that because it's too, I don't know, it's a little too close to the vanilla. It is nicer than the vanilla, though. It is. I don't mean that to be in a bad way. So this is the UMP body. Now, we classify all bodies that aren't CBBE as being UNP, okay? And that's because they're based off of this basic body. They have grown out of that to become these other things, and we will get to those other things. I don't want to get into that right now. So now we need to find the UNP refit. Oh wait, there's some different things you can do with your body, of course. You know, like here you have a different texture. Well, there's some other, I saved this because there's a couple of other textures you might want to see. This is, depending on your taste, this is a sporty, sexy sweat texture if you wanted your girl to have that. I would not, but some people do. This is a, well, you get the idea. It's a specular, pure skin texture. I don't remember if I tried this or not, but it's really white. I think it's really glossy. I don't really get into glossy, but if you do, there you go. So that's a couple of textures you could use with that body, as well as you could use, but there's no point in using this skin with that body because this skin comes with its own body, which it's going to win and be that body anyway. So if you really want to use what I consider the base UNP body, this is a good option right here. You might be able to find a few other like it, but this is the one I could find. I was looking for UMP body, and then I looked for different things. I wasn't having much success, and then I thought, oh, I should look for mesh. And sure enough, I found it. But it was hard to find. It was at the very end of all this stuff. There is also some other UNP textures that you could try, but they don't give any picture of it, so I don't know what it looks like. And don't try the CBBE stuff with your UNP body. That will not work. CBBE is only for CBBE, okay? Keep the two separate. No matter which UNP body you end up using, keep the two separate. Now there is a UMP Armor Refit. There's actually more than one, but let me find what I'm looking for. Was this UMP? Now this is an outfit that is not, it's not like an armor replacer, but this is a little outfit, set of outfits that you can get. And these are actually pretty nice. I'm pretty sure that I did a show on these at some point. They're pretty nice, and it fits that UNP body. That fits that girl. So she's, you know, she's slimmer, but she's not like, you know, she's not anorexic, okay? There's that one mod. I swear the girls just look anorexic, and that bothers me because it makes me think they're sick or they're, you know, not healthy. They're suffering. That sounds however it sounds. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I am. Now, here's the UMP Body Fit Armors and Clothing. This is a good mod for that body, and Wikwa did this mod. It's very good, and it fits that body, and they'll all have that shape, and all these armors will fit to that shape and be pretty nice. I'm sure that I did a show on this as well, okay? So that's one that you can use for that body. There is another. Now I'm getting specific. I'm looking for UNP for UNP. I'm not going to mix and match, because we're going to mix and match. I mean, we're going to do other bodies and other armor replacers as we go. So so let me look. Hold on a second. There's a UNP. We're still talking just the base UNP. I think it's Refit. Let me find that. This is an older mod, but I think it too is pretty nice. Well, here's something I forgot about, but there is this UMP Rogue Armor, which you could try if you like that. Again, you know, you have to try things and see what you like. Let's see. Here we go. UNP Female Armors Refitted. It's probably, it and Wikwas are probably fairly similar, and they're similar in size, but it's just female armors refitted to fit the UMP body. And this one's older. Fluffin did this quite a while back. It's been around a while. So let's see. It says original mod by Exeter, so sorry about that. I didn't realize. So, and it has no custom body, so that it should fit your UMP body if you decide to use that body. Now you notice for pure, what I'm thinking of as pure UMP, I don't think there's as much stuff out here. Now there is this little skimpy mod here, which you can get for UMP, and you'll notice she's a little slimmer. They don't necessarily have to be that slim, but they're pretty slim though. I mean, you know, but not, I don't mean it like they're, like I say, they're not skinny. They're not anorexic like they look like they're dying. So anyway, I'm overly sensitive about that. It just makes me think something's wrong. Is this petite? What is this? I think this too. Is this UNP? Well, yeah, I think this would probably also work with your UMP. Now this is a little more petite, so she's going to be probably quite a bit thinner, it looks like. And I don't know, that kind of, some of those pictures, anyway, depends on what you like. So she looks a little thinner there, but yeah, it is a UNP refit. I see that down at the bottom. Okay, so that would be another option if you want her to be even thinner. That's your choice. Okay. So I'm going to move on past the UNP. Now, there's something called 7 base, and there's a couple of versions of it. And I'm going to try to deal with just 7 base first. Let's see. No, we're not going to do that. Let's move on. I'm trying to get this the way... No. So, maybe I should have wrote the word out, 7 base. Cause I'm not talking about OPI. That's something different. Now, like, here's one choice. There's... No, that's OPI, OPPAI again. Yeah, that's the... This is 7 base with larger boobs, okay? Let me just get that out of the way so I can say that and move on. It is. That's what it is. But there is a 7 base that isn't like that if we can find it. Like this 7 base. Now, this is the armor refit. This is not the body, okay? There is a body. Let me find the body first, because, here we go. Okay, not that one. But this is the 7 base body. Now, this has a red bikini, and this has a wet red bikini. Let's see. This is very small. This is basically just a mesh with a red bikini. I think you can also find either something with a different bikini, or you can get something to make that bikini not red if you don't like red. Nonetheless, this is from Modder 725. This is a good 7 base body. I'm pretty sure there's another one. Hold on a second. Yeah, I've used this one, this 7 base body. Now, I used this well in the past, but it's only meshes and the bikini, and it works just fine. So this one works fine. I have tested this one, and this one works fine too, and it's smaller. But you may find that you like one or the other better, so you just have to try them. But they are just 7 base. They aren't the OPI, which is with the bigger boobs. Is this? I can't remember if this is with the bigger boobs or not, honestly. But it's 7 base, and you could use this. This is a standalone armor. It's not a replacer. So, with this in mind, these are 7 base bodies. Now, this one is wet if you want that. I don't want that texture and stuff, and look how much bigger that makes the body. I prefer to use my own textures. You can pick any UNP texture, skin texture, and try it until you find one you like. Now, at the very end of this, maybe I'll show you. Well, actually, I just did a video on my beauty mods, what I use. So look at that, and it shows you which textures I use. And, you know, it's really pretty simple. Those are the textures I use. It's not a big deal. And you may want to use something else. Different people like different things. And you can always ask me, and I'll tell you. You know, I'll tell you which ones I'm using. This is 7 base. This is a standalone piece of armor, and or outfit, if you want to think of it, and it looks nice. But I'm looking for, this is a very nice piece. 7 base, it's 7 base. I used this for a while on one of my girls. I really liked it. The only thing I don't like about it is you have to craft it at the Skyforge. Oh, and no other forge is ever labeled as the Skyforge. If there is one that's labeled as the Skyforge, let me know. But I don't know of any other. And I do a lot of stuff in the cheat room. So yeah, they put it to Skyforge only. So that's super annoying. But anyway, that's just the way it is. But here is a good 7 base armor replacer. Now this, I am actually using this now. You can see that I have it enabled and favorited. The reason I'm using this is that this is not like it's not overly sexual or anything. It's just a good basic replacer, and it gives the girls a little realistic curve without being ridiculous. So for me, doing my shows and stuff, I do want something kind of, I don't just want the vanilla, but I don't want to go over the top all the time. I have done that, and I will again at some point, but for right now, you know, not all the time. I don't want to be over the top all the time. I enjoy being over the top at times, but, you know, you just kind of get immune to it all if you see it all the time. So, anyway, so that's a good armor replacer for the 7 base. It is the only one I know of that we have that is just for the normal 7 base, not the OPI. It's just normal 7 base. And this replaces all the armor in the game. Let me check here. I think it's everything. all vanilla and DLC outfits refitted and reshaped, and I find it works very well. Now, I don't think it has, no, it does not have any animation support, and they say because I don't want bouncing metal plate armors. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's fine. That's fine. So anyway, so there's no animation support for it. I don't care. That's fine. It still looks good. I think it works pretty good. Sometimes I think the tops of some of them look a little off, but I can't be sure if it's really me seeing that or if it's just my eyes are tired, because my eyes get tired at the end of the day. All right, so because I'm on a computer screen all day, you know, doing work. So anyway, so that is, let's see, I think that covers the basic 7 base. Okay, now after the basic 7 base, there is a whole nother world. And we're just going to make this easy. We're just going to call it OPI. And basically it's the 7 base with bigger boobs. And I admit that it's probably my favorite body out there. I'll just tell you right now, anyway, that is. I wish, okay, I'm just going to tell you this. Like, the Nephilim body is a good idea, but it just looks a little, something about it looks a little off. I think if you took the OPI body, especially at its max, and just gave it a little more booty and hip, it would be the perfect body. Not a ton more, don't overdo it. Just, just a little bit. Anyway, that's me. You don't care. I know, it's fine. All right, so the body I use now, and there's a couple of different choices, but let me just show you. I use this body, and you can plainly tell that I have it downloaded and favorited and using it. I use this body, and that's the body I like. Now, you can get, this one has mesh only, it has no texture. I use the textures that I like. You can get this one, which I think includes fair skin complexion, and it will look like this. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like that appearance, you should, well, I shouldn't say you should. Well, I don't know. You might want to try it. You might want to install it. Make sure you follow the instructions down at the bottom. Hard reset. But, maybe you should try it, because this would be an all-in-one solution and it would save you a little space. So it's worth trying. And then if you don't like, the that texture, then you could try something else. Oh, they added freckle textures. Okay, well, that's up to you. I have a thing where I like freckles, but I don't. It depends. I'd have to see them to see how it's done. What some people call freckles, I call, I don't know, something else. Anyway, so nonetheless, I use that body. This is a good body. There's several choices of this, though. There's these 2 versions. Now, first, I used this one first when it first came out. When did it come out? A year or 2 ago? And I used it for a long time. It's really nice. And this author, and you can see a lot of people like it. It's got 22,000 some favorites. That's pretty good. Anyway, so it's a great body and it works. It's really wonderful. Okay. I only changed to this other one because I liked the Chainmail Bikini. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. Now, the same author made this, and they said they made this because they liked it better than their first one. Well, okay, I like it, but I did not like it better because I don't like that weird underwear. You can, okay, yeah, in real life on a girl, that would be fine, okay? But in a game and a cartoon girl, I was like, I don't really care that much about it, especially in Skyrim. So I thought I liked the chainmail better when that came out. I was like, hey, I kind of like the chainmail. But now both of these bodies are fine. They work very well. Don't take anything. I'm just trying to have some fun. But basically, those are very good. You can find a lot of stuff for OPI. For instance, there is the Diano armor Now, I don't know what this is. What is this? This is UNP? Okay, that's not for 7 base OPI. This is for OPI. Okay, this is a patch to make it OPI. No? Yeah. Wow. UNP or all-in-one required. Oh, okay. This works with that Diano armor to make it OPI, in other words, to give you the bigger boobs. I have not done, I cannot believe I have not done a show on these. I should do a show on these for fun. So anyway, I've done a show on the original a long time ago. And this is, I think, a version of that original, but the very original was by Morgan Helsing. Anyway, so there's all that OPI stuff. Now this is a muscle definition map, but it is not just for OPI. It's for, you'll notice it says for any UNP based skin, so you could use that for any of your UNP based bodies, and they mention it in the comment there. UNP, UNPB, 7B, 7B, OPI, etc., because it goes on forever. So, so this is 7 base. Okay, now for 7 base, you can get this Skimpy Armor Replacer if that's what you're after. And for some reason, I was thinking you were. And this is a good all-around Skimpy Armor Replacer. Now, not everything is super skimpy. Like, if you'll notice, the ebony mail is just really skin type mail, which I find that to be really cool myself. But it's all of this is good though. I've done a show on this. The only one that there was an issue with from my show was Vermina's robe. There was an issue with Vermina's robe, but I think that has been fixed since then. I'm not WicWa, so I can't swear to it, but I think it's been fixed. So for the 7 base OPI, this is a good Skimpy replacer. Now, you can also replace your Chainmail Bikini with this red bikini if you would prefer. Or is this a body? Let me check. Oh, I apologize. This is another body. So like you have this body that I'm using with the silver, the Chainmail Bikini. WicWa also made this body with the red bikini. I didn't want the flashy red bikini, but you could do that if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your business. I thought there was, and then there are some bikini replacers. They didn't show up for me here, and I think it's because they fit any of WicWa's bodies, or I think they fit really any body. The chainmail is just an underwear replacer, so you can make it black or red or something like that. So let's see. So this is OPI Bikini Armors if you wanted those, which WicWa ported. And I did a show on these, and you can find that show probably pretty easy. It was entertaining. I'm easily entertained, I'll just tell you. And then there's the Leather Ranger. This is OPI. And I think I did a show on this as well, and this was a good suit. Yeah, I seem to remember this was pretty nice. I think I used it for a little bit, but you know, I use stuff and then I move on. Now, here's something I have not done my show on yet. I'm going to do my show on it. It looks cool, but I've not done it yet. So, don't want you to think I'm showing you something that you should try, and I haven't tried it yet. So, if you try that, you really try that at your own risk. So, there's all this OPI stuff. Now, there is one other OPI thing, but it's very hard to find. And I can find it, but where it is, it's down here in Work in Progress. And I can't get it on the Xbox through Work in Progress. Now, what you have to do, what you must do to find it and get it is you have to go either, well, you can do it on your Xbox if you don't mind going through your Internet Explorer, going through, what do they call it now? Now they're calling it Edge. Okay, Edge. Sorry, I'm old. It takes a while for me to catch up. So, anyway, so they're calling it Edge. So it takes, because it's way out here. It's an old mod, and I don't think it's been updated in a long time. So it's sitting way out here. This thing only handles about 100 mods, and then you can't see any further. Like once you hit that 100 limit, anything that's beyond that you can't see. See, we're stuck. So I'm not saying that to be a complainer. I'm just letting you know this does have a limitation. Just because you don't see it down here doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like this is a Nephilim shape thing, and if they do not move this, if Morgan Helsing does not get it out of work in progress, it will eventually slide off the end, and we will not be able to find it very easily. So it needs to, work in progress mods need to be worked on and then gotten out of work in progress, because eventually it slides off the end and we can't find it anymore. Not on the Xbox. Now, I say not on the Xbox, not in the software provided here on the Xbox. I'm going to do a, actually I don't think I can do that right now. Let me do a switch and I will show you how to find that in Edge. Just hold on a moment. Okay, so if on your Xbox you will open up your Edge or Internet Explorer, whatever they're calling it nowadays, and log on to Bethesda's site with your account, and it has to be linked to your Xbox account. Now, I don't remember how to even do that nowadays. They have some sort of instructions on how to do that. But once you've done that, when you come out here to find, there is one last mod you can find for 7 base OPI that you cannot find easily on the Xbox. Or see, there's all these mods that don't show, because these are all old mods that have been sitting there for a long time. These are even some of those mods that I still have to do a show on, which is a shame that I've not done that. Nonetheless, we'll do a search for OPI, and what we will find is two things. We will find an old body that Morgan Helsing did. Now, I did a show on this. It actually works. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. And you'll find this 7 base OPI Armour Replacer that the dreaded Jiangxi did. And that is the same person that did... Oh, did I lose that? Hold on, let me go back up. Sorry about that. I'm not used to doing shows like this, so you have to kind of bear with me a little bit. So it's the same person that did these two bodies I was telling you about. It's the dreaded Jiangxi, and I'm not good at saying that name, so anyway, so that person did both of these. So they also did that. Now their intent originally was to do a normal and a skimpy, and they just never got around to all of it. So I don't know if they just dropped out of modding or what, or if it just, sometimes you start something and it becomes too much and you've got work and other things to do. So anyway, so you can find this one. There's no pictures here for it, but it is I clicked on it. It is a OPI replacer that is not skimpy, if you did not want skimpy. And then they say here it's still a work in progress, but it hasn't been worked on since August of last year. And I don't say that to be critical, it's just the way it is. Yeah, see, they didn't do a skimpy version, but then it turned out that Wickwa did, so Wickwa did that. Yeah, it's not exactly the same as the other 7 base. It's similar, but it really does have a little larger breast, so it's not exactly the same. So anyway, that's how you would find this mod, and you would come over here and you'd say add it to my library, or favorite it, or maybe both to make sure that you can see it. Like for me, let me just add it to my library and favorite. I have a lot in my library, so it may not show. Now on Skyrim, you may have to pardon me for a minute, because for that to show in my favorites, woo, let's go see if it shows or if I need to refresh. One thing when you do that, you may need to refresh, because you've done that from the website, and I don't know that these two things communicate quite so automatically as we would like. Yeah, let me just do a refresh here, and I'll show you this list again. Oh wait, maybe that'll do it. We'll just do a load. Okay, I'm gonna let you see that I'm just loading for a minute, because I don't want you to think I did something weird. I want you to actually know that I did this so that you'll see it, even though this takes a minute and I know it's a bit boring, so that you know that I didn't do something else that I'm not showing you, because I want you to know that you can do this. I've done another video actually on doing this before. I can't for the life of me remember the name of that video. It was something like maybe, you know, information or miscellaneous information or something. So I apologize that might be hard to find. Now this video itself may be very long simply because I'm trying to find all these things and give you all these options. So, and you may need to be writing this down, because I'm not compiling a written list, and I'm not going to type it all up, because I'm doing it all here like this. Here we go. So once you do that, it will be, see, it's in my favorites. Now it's probably in my library, but honestly my library is really, really full. Every time there's new mods, I click on almost all of them and add them to my library so that I have at least a chance of coming and doing some of the shows for them. As you notice, there's a lot that I never get to. But, you know, I'm always trying, I'm always working on it. If I ever become independently wealthy, or if I ever get to retire, I will have more time and I will do more shows. But for now, we're happy the way it is. It's about as good as I can get it right now. So, but there's a lot of stuff out here. That's just how many mods you can easily find, new mods all the time. Okay, anyway, so this is that mod, and I have used it before, and it's great for the OPI if you don't want a sexy armor replacer. That is the only option that I know of that is not sexy for the OPI. Let me take another look, but I'm pretty sure. And you gotta admit, this was probably made with the whole idea of doing sexy armor. I can't imagine that it was made otherwise. So yeah, so this is the Skimpy Armor though, and it's great. And other than that, there's a bunch of other armors that you can play around with, and of course you can do tattoos and stuff. But that's really not. This isn't necessarily for OPI. It could be for any of those bodies. I'm not like a big tattoo person, so I've never really gotten into that. But that doesn't mean anything. If you like it, you like it, and there you go. You've got the option, so it's up to you. All right, so that is the 7 base and the OPI. Okay, so that's the OPI. Now there is another option, which is kind of, it's UNPB, and it's kind of like, it's UNP, but it's UNP blessed is the idea. And the blessed is that it's just a little more curvy. You've got a little more, you know, up top, and maybe a little more booty too. I played around with this and I liked it, but I still liked the OPI a little better. But I did like this. I did play around with this and I liked it. This is that's the outfit. Where's the body? Here's the body. I did the, didn't I do, I think I did this one, the mesh only. Yeah, this is the one I did. So again, now this picture may look like the OPI body, but the UNPB body is not exactly the same. It really isn't. It's it doesn't have as bigger boobs, but it does have some other nice shape to it, and more so than the regular UNP. So it's blessed. It's a little better. If you're like me and you think that's better, which I do. So anyway, so you can use, there's this body mesh, there is this body replacer. Again, any UNP based texture will work. That will be fine. They do have some colorful bikini armors for that as well, and they do have a version of this. And then there is this outfit, which I don't know. Did I ever do a show on this? It doesn't look familiar to me. Maybe I intended to and never got around to it. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. Then let's see, what else is there? There's this bikinis of the North for that body shape. I mean, Wickwar tried to make enough stuff to make it worthwhile to have that body. That is a decent body. It's pretty nice. So I played around with it. I thought about keeping it, and then I went back to the Opine. That's just me. So, and then here's one. If you want to try one that already has the texture, and it does have a nice texture. Now, whether or not it's the one I like doesn't matter, but this is a good one. Alright, so there is, like I said, there's that UNPB body there. You can also get some other different outfits here, like this. These are some different suits. I don't remember if I did a show on those either. Might have. And then there's, of course, the Dianos and these death robes, which are interesting. And I don't know if I did all of these. I did a show on the first initial basic death robe, but I don't think I did one on these. And then, let's see. There was these I did not do. I don't think I did anything on that, but nonetheless, these are the same. They are similar to these. I don't know what the differences would be. We'd have to check that out. And then, let's see, is this really UNP? No, this is UNP. Now, there's two versions of this chainmail armor. The one I found that I liked was actually this one. It's small, it's detailed enough, it looks really good, it has the sword, and it actually has 3 different versions of the armor. It's really very nice, and it's for UNPB. And I was using that for a while on one of my characters. It was really nice. This version is just a much bigger version, and it says it's 4K, but I couldn't really... I can't tell that much difference, and I'm using a 4K TV, and a lot of times I can't tell that much difference. So I'm like, maybe it's just me. You know, I can't see that much difference sometimes. Then there's this version, which was done by someone else, Dreaded Jangshi. And it's only one version, and the sword, you can only find it. You can't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Create it or forge it. That you have to go and find. And so anyway, it's bigger and it's less, so I kind of liked this one better, honestly. I'm not trying to be mean, I just did. But it appears that some people do like this one. It is good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I felt like this one was a little better. So then this was the original death robes that Gemini King put out here, Kingports, and it was a good mod, and I did do a show on this mod. So alright, so anything else for UNPB that is worth mentioning? There is this Princess of Flowers, and I did a show on this because this was just so dumb. It's cute and fun if that's what you like. I don't mean it like... Okay, when I say it's dumb, I mean, you know how the little 5-year-old looks at the girl's Barbie and says it's dumb? I'm kind of being like that little kid. I'm kind of being a stinker saying, okay, that's kind of dumb, but okay, it's kind of... If somebody likes it and it's fun, that's quite alright. That's none of my business. It's just, you know, it's just me being a guy. So anyway, and I think that is basically all of the UNPB stuff except, whoa, I almost did not mention this. This Viking Armors is pretty big, but the outfits and the dresses you get are very nice, and I especially liked, I used to run Sif in an outfit very similar to what that elf is wearing. I really liked it. The only thing was, like they say here, there are no boots in this mod. I recommend using hide boots. What I would do is I would use the Dawn Guard boots. That's what I liked. I thought they looked better with it than the hide boots. But that's just me, and that's going to be a subjective thing. So anyway, this is a very good UMPB mod too. It's very nice. See, anything else that strikes a chord with me? I'm just trying to point out stuff I know are good. This Asker Sandrine, I've used it a lot off and on over the years. It's not too big, and it's very good, and it has a lot of variety. Ignore that cat head mask or whatever they have. That's not part of this mod. This mod, if you can ignore that cat head mask and the bow, this mod is just that outfit without those two things. So this mod is that outfit that that girl's wearing. It's that outfit without the cat ear thing and the bow. Yeah, it's that outfit. And it's a very, very nice outfit, and it comes in a lot of multiple colors for a mod this small. And a lot of the versions, there's unenchanted and enchanted versions. So you can mix and match and have quite a bit of fun. So, the only thing you do need to have is you must have XP32 skeleton. Okay? Now, and you do need the animations if you want the animations, but you have to have XP32 regardless. Because you don't have to have the animations if you don't want them. But I found that to be a really great outfit. It's really nice. So, that probably doesn't surprise you. But nonetheless, I'm just telling you. So I'm looking to see if there's anything else for UNPB that strikes my mind, and that is no. No. These are different things, so we're not going to go into that. Oh, I did miss one thing with 7 base. The book of UUMP 7 base. This is a curvy. There is a slim. They actually made a slim version. Is this it? Well, this is the petite version anyway. But this is the 7 base version. This is a very good. Now, it's not a replacer. Well, it replaces your guard armors, but other than the guards, it's not really a replacer. But it adds a bunch of armors for your females. Some do work on males, but for the most part, it's for females. And those are basically mainly Skimpy Armors. So, just so you know, it's in the 7 base shape. So those are really nice. So I missed this earlier, so that's part of 7 base. But for UMPB, they did not have a version of that I remember. Now, I want to look at something else. This is something that's a little different. And they call it UUMP. I don't really know what that stands for. If that's Ultra UMP or if that's... I don't know what that's supposed to stand for. So, there is a body, like this body, by this is by Proman Slayer. This is UUMP. It's his, I think he called it Goma Pirogue Body mesh. And she's big on the top, but other than that, she's really thin. Now, his is a unique version. This is a unique take. Okay? And there seemed to be a skeleton problem with it, but honestly, if you use XP32 and put it below it, you won't have any issue. I only had issue when I realized that it was supposed to have its own skeleton, and then I removed XP32, and then I had real issues. So nonetheless, if you put XP32 below it, you won't have any trouble with it. And this doesn't have any texture, so you won't get the tan lines. I guess he was wanting to create this certain look so that the girl would have like bikini tan lines for whatever, for whatever. Anyway, so but there is a version. This version has that texture, so you will get those tan lines if you want it. And see, she's really thin, but well, I don't think he shows a picture of it, but she is larger up top. She does have like bigger boobs. But other than that, she's really thin. So, and he says it's not for everybody's taste, but, you know, depends on what you like. That doesn't mean somebody can't like it. So anyway, so this is pretty big, but this has the texture that gives you the tan lines and the, I guess the moles. I don't consider those freckles when they get to be like that. That's more moles. But anyway, so if you like that, that's that body shape there. Now that is a unique body shape, and I don't know of any clothes to go with that. And I think the problem was Pro Manslayer got in trouble for something else, and I don't know if and when that modder will ever come back. So that's seems to be happening too much. So anyway, that's another story. We won't go there. So another unique body is the Inglejest body. Now, let's see. Does this... You know what, though? Let's handle that on its own. Ignore that. Forget that. Let's stick with the UUMP. That's what I'm trying to show you. Is this is a special Pro Manslayer's body. Let's see. Do we have... Let me see what they have here. This is CBBE. We don't want to talk about that yet. This is UUMP. Now, UUMP is basically... I think it's supposed to be like Ultra UMP, like Ultra Curvy. I think that's the idea. Okay? So this would be an armor set. Now, however, I don't think this armor set was made for like Pro's body, so I don't know if it would work that well. I think you would still end up with the Ultra Curvy, and you would probably not end up with the skinny girl that Pro made. Okay? So, and you'll notice that the modder here that did this, they did 3 versions. They did the CBB version, the UUMP version, the 7-base version. So, but anyway, so this is the UUMP version. Now, a UUMP body that is here is Spartans. Now, Spartan gave us 2 bodies. Hold on. Spartan gave us this body, the thick body mesh. And I think the breasts were just larger than what people wanted. Okay? Other people. Just anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm being... Anyway, so... And maybe after he made it, maybe he thought, maybe it is a bit off. I don't know. Anyway, so then later he followed up with this. The LBE, which is the less breast edition, which, I'm sorry, that just tickles me. But anyway, so it's just a, you know, a little smaller up top, right? But it's a very good, so this is a very good UUMP body. It's very good, very curvy. And then he made his own armor replacer for it. This is a very good armor replacer. It is skimpy, but it is not outrageously skimpy. He doesn't have any pictures for you to show here, but I've actually got a show up on this too. As a matter of fact, I think I did it in 2 parts because it's on some of my old equipment. But it is it's very good. I'm trying to remember. Seems like it was last year that I was using this for a while, and I used it for quite a while. I enjoyed it. But there's actually quite a few things out here for UUMP. There's these bikinis. There's this outfit by Fluffin, which I guess Gamla's ported. And it's an interesting outfit. I've downloaded it and tried it. I think I did a show on it. Usually if I download it and try it, I do. So there is that. So for Spartan has a real UUMP body. Does anybody else really have a UUMP body? Not really. This right here, Charles Renee. Yeah, this is really a UUMP outfit, not a UMP. Because she really is pretty curvy. I tried that and I did a show on it. It was pretty good. So, let's see. Is there anything else? So this is a curvy body, like I said, but it's not as big like the Inglejest body. To make that comparison, if that's a curvy body, the Angel-Jest body is a little over curvy. It's more like the Nephilim. It's a little, and it's meant to be. It's a little meant to be over the top, a little too much. Of course, you can adjust it and play with it for your character. You can adjust your min-max and get it the way you want it. But, you know, for some of the NPCs, you'll see that some of them will be a little, maybe a little over the top. But, it's up to you. Depends on what you like. Now, for another type of body, let's see, let's make sure I'm done. I think I'm done with the UUMP because there's not a ton of UUMP. There is the book of UUMP. Let's see, is there an actual UUMP? No, there's 7 base. And then there's UMP. So there's not really, you know, for some reason that UUMP gets used in 2 different ways. I don't know what it's supposed to mean when it refers to the armor. Now, let's see. This is Seraphim 7 base. Oh, I forgot. There is a Terra Armors collection that is 7 base. See, we're going to find more and more stuff as we go, and I apologize, but it's very hard to do a compilation and have it all nice and neatly arranged because it's all over the place. But this is a 7 base Terra Armors. Now, this is very nice because 7 base is a good body. It's a good curvy body. It's not over the top curvy, but it's a very nice curvy body. And this mod, I have used this mod, or did I use the Seraphim version? Might have used the Seraphim version, but nonetheless, it's a very nice mod, and these armors are very cool. And not all of them. Some of them are kind of skimpy, but there's plenty of them that are not. And then you do get the opposite side of this. The reason this is pretty big is that you also get armors or outfits for the guys, which can be good, can be fun. So, haven't tried that in a while. I may do that again someday just for fun, so I have something for my guys that would be entertaining. So, anyway, matter of fact, I should do that. I should do a show for both the guys and the girls. Oh, that's a good idea. Anyway, so this is Terra Armors for 7 base, and Terra Armors for Seraphim, which we'll go into Seraphim later. But Seraphim is similar to 7 base, but it's not exactly the same. But it's a good curvy without being too curvy mod. Sometimes it's hard to choose between those two. Those two, I think the 7 base tends to be a little more busty, and the Seraphim tends to be a little more booty, but they're very similar to each other, I would say. Now, I might have that backwards or wrong. Somebody can correct me if they want. That's fine. Won't offend me. Matter of fact, we were going to look at the Seraphim next anyway. But since I'm here, hold on a second. Let's cover this. This is some unique mods. Here, these are some unique mods that this modder made. Star of Elian, and they made their own body shape. They made a body shape that was, you know, had a bit more booty and less boob, and then they made armor to fit that. And then they also made a couple of people, like for followers, that would fit this look that they wanted. And then they made a different body like that. And I think this one has a little more booty. It's a little wider body. And maybe a little more boob too, but still keeping that proportion similar. And then they did a refit for this too. Now these are not skimpy refits, but they're refits. So that's something. If you're interested in that, this is the SOE Astria realistic curvy body. So I don't know any other name, and it's from Star of Ellen, like I said. And they made this themselves. They made, to my knowledge, they made this themselves. And they kind of made it with their own personal likes in mind. But I think there are some other folks that like it. That looks like it's favorited quite a bit. So, nothing wrong with that. It all depends on what you like. Now, Spartan did make an Armour Replacer for this. This is the bigger boob version. and it is this. But this Armour Replacer is not, it's not as good as the other one. This is skimpy, but it's just not as good as the other one. The other replacer is better. I would have liked to have seen a replacer like he made for this one. Like, I would like to have seen a version of that replacer for this body. That would have been interesting. Not that this is awful. This isn't awful, but it's not as good. Just saying. So I think that's all the UMP, and that's the special, that special one there, that Star of Ellen that they did, that Astria, that was special. And let's see, Spartan Wolves was kind of a special. Okay, so I think that covers all the UMP. So let's look at, yeah, because we covered Pro Manslayers too. So let's look at Seraphim. And Pro Manslayer didn't get to finish, so I don't know what that would have looked like. You never know. It could have been interesting, but... So let's look for Seraphim now. There's not going to be as much for Seraphim as there used to be. Now, because Alpine YJ took down not all their mods, but a ton of their Seraphim-related mods. They did so for their own personal reasons. Really none of my business, except that I hate that all those mods are gone. Some of those mods were just very slightly. They weren't even really extremely racy or anything, and they're gone. And we can't get them back, and that's, you know, that's bad. But at least some of these are still here. This is one of my favorite followers that I used originally, and I still really like. And there's nothing wrong with her, so hopefully they will leave her up. And, you know, but a lot of other stuff they took down. They left the vanilla replacer up, which is fine. I appreciate they at least left that up if you wanted to use that. This is the one mod that I don't really care much for. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I just didn't care much. We need a different courier. I don't know. I just didn't care much for that. So I'm looking to see if there's anything for Seraphim I need to remember that's way out here. I don't think there is. But I want to make sure I don't mess up. So bear with me a moment. Okay, no. Alright, so everything that's here for Seraphim is really fairly new now in relative terms. There isn't a lot here. There was one skimpy Seraphim armor and clothing replacer, but Alpine YJ took that down. Now, this is Pro's UNP Seraphim. Now, I did check out Pro's Seraphim body, and I thought it was very good. It's very fine. The only problem was the skeleton again, and I don't know why he left a skeleton in it, honestly. But if you put your XP32 skeleton down below this, it'll override it, and you won't have that issue. There was an issue. But anyway, so this is that body, and you do get that. You get a Seraphim shaped body, and you get that bikini underwear. You don't get those tan lines and that texture with the moles, which is fine. I thought it was fine. It's very good. So that was their Seraphim body, and it's very nice. Now, Seraphim mods, like I said, are a lot less than they were, but there still are some, as we saw. There is the Terra Armors collection, which will outfit your girls and your guys just fine. And then there is the Ashara light armor or clothing, one or the other. Don't use both because it's really the same mod. which uses the Seraphim shape. It's very nice. And again, by Alpine YJ, and they left this one up, and I'm glad they did, but they took down their Seraphim body replacer, so that was disappointing. Nothing really to say about that. Then there's this, but again they took down the body, so but this is a regular clothing refit, which was fine. It worked fine. It's nice. So, and that's it. That's really all there is for Seraphim right now. There's not a lot out there for it. And there's just this one body. So I don't know if we will see a lot of that come back ever or not. We'll probably not. People will probably stay with the 7 base bodies, or maybe the UMPB, depending on what they want. Let's see. So let's move on. Oh, there's 2 other specialty bodies. I'm going to call them specialty bodies. And we didn't go over this one because I wanted to do it separately, because it's its own thing, really. But it's very nice, and Wickwad did bother to make some stuff for it. So there's the Ingeljess body. Let me find it. Okay. Now, my only problem with this body is that there is no mesh only. It only comes this version with this skin. And there was something about this skin that I did not like as much as my own skin texture. And I don't mean my own, I mean the one I use. My own skin texture is just regular old skin in real life. But anyway, I do like this body, and you can play with it and get your character to look like this, look nice and curvy. And then you'll still have some women in the world of various different shapes and sizes, and it's interesting. It's not a bad thing, I don't think. I think it's pretty cool. And there is an armor replacer. There is the vanilla armor replacer, which is not very big. And I will admit that in a way some of that looks a bit big and wonky, okay? So I got you there, I understand. But that's the vanilla armor replacer. If you don't like that, you could always try this is the Skimpy Armor Replacer. And you might like it better. You might not. I don't know. You'll have to try it. I have done a show on all, I think all 3 of these. I've done a show on all 3 of these because I was interested in them, and I have done a show on some of the followers, like the colorful followers. I only did a show on one of the Ranger outfits, so I probably didn't do a show on this particular version. But the Ranger outfit was nice, so if you like this body, you'll probably like that version. Let's see, and the outfit only supports max weight only, so just be aware of that. So the Ingeljess body is its own thing. It's kind of like the Seraphim the Nephilim in Cbb. This is its own thing. You may see me try this in the future for fun again, but it's been a while since I've messed with it. Just because sometimes I got to do something different. And there's all these followers. If you want to see what that body looks like without going to too much trouble, you can download a small follower like this one of Shinobi. Is under 20 megabytes, and just take a look at her. You can try her outfit out on your girl and see how it looks, see what you think. Or any of these others, but I remember her, you could take her outfit and your person could wear it, and you could get an idea of what your person would look like. I had some fun doing that. I was being silly. Okay, so that's the Ingeljess body. There's these options here. There's the vanilla armor replacer, which is like non-skimpy. There's the body, and there is the skimpy armor replacer now. So there's not as much for the Ingeljess, but there is some there. And there's definitely some followers you can get. If you like that body type, you can have a bunch of followers. So it's an option. Alright, and then too, you have to remember a lot of times when you get other followers, they will use your body, whatever your body in the game is. So not all of them, but a lot of them will. So just having this a lot of times will make a lot of your NPCs and followers have the same body type. So, all right, now TMB. There is TMB. TMB is something new and special. And the idea that I understand they were trying to do was let's see if we can, let's go here. See if they can say this. Yes. What they're trying to do is kind of make a CBBE body, kind of, in a UNP base. So it's really that kind of shape with a UNP base. So I'm not sure why exactly you would do that, except I guess it would open up, it might open up certain things to you that you can't do in CBBE. I don't know what that is though. So this is the original body they made. This is just the TMB E enhanced body, no textures, just vanilla underwear, and that's just the body shape. That's all it is with the regular vanilla underwear. Then they made the Skimpy Armors, clothing and armors. Now I did a show on all this, if you want to look that up, and it's not bad. It all seemed to work if I remember correctly. Then you had this body that had wet skin green underwear, meaning it has its own texture. And I'm not a big fan of wet skin textures, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not necessarily, everything doesn't have to be for me. But it's interesting. I mean, you can tell this is not a bad thing. And then this is the enhanced body with a pale skin texture. And let's see, black bikini underwear. So seemed fine. And then they did, this is vanilla. This is not skimpy. This is just vanilla, regular clothing and armor replacer to fit that body. They didn't really change anything. It's just the normal stuff, except, you know, they made it fit that body. And then this was the red bikini. Was there a reason they did this? Oh, this is just a patch so that you could have a red bikini instead of black or green, or that, if you didn't like the vanilla bikini. So there you go, and that's all there is for the TMB Enhanced, and it is a lot like, I tell you, it really reminds me of the Cbb Curvy, but it is in a UMP shape. So that means that it's, you know, it's a decent kind of middle of the road curvy. It's not uncurvy. It's not too skinny or anything like that. It's a decent body. It's not as athletic, but it's still a decent body. Because some of the ones we've looked at, I'm trying to gauge it and get it in a, like, it's a little curvier than the UNP. It's probably about like the UNPB, the Blessed. It's probably about like that. Those two are probably close together. The real CBBE Curvy is actually a lot more like the UNP base without, it doesn't quite have this much curve. And then the slim CBB to me just looks almost anorexic. It looks scary to me. Maybe that's just me. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. And then so that's what we're going to look at, though. We're going to look at oh, I hit the wrong thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't make you sit through this. Hold on a minute.
Go, go, go!
Alright, so now we're going to look at CBBE. Now, there's 3 flavors of CBBE. There was only 2, but now there's 3. Now, let me explain. There is CBBE, there is Curvy, CBBE, and then there is Slim. And then there is a newly created by Morgan Helsing Nephilim version, which is kind of like an ultra curvy CBBE. Now, can we even find CBBE? Hold on. I may have been too generic. I may have. Oh, I probably was too generic. We didn't get far enough back. Hold on. Let's try. No, CBBE, CCB, C. Oh, too many acronyms, you know. Let's do Replacer. I should probably do Body, but let's try Replacer first. Or maybe I should do Curvy. Now here's that unslawed pale skin for a UMP body that Pro Manslayer did. It gives you, see that? It gives you more of a, it gives you a different look. I don't know, it gives you a different look. You have to decide if you like it. When I tried it, I thought it made it more, look a little more, is realistic the right word really? I don't know. A little more something. Alright, so Caliente, this is the, okay, so here you go. So here you have the Cbb Curvy. Now this is the all-in-one, and really there's no point not doing the all-in-one because this is about the only option you get with this unless you do, well, I'll show you what other options there are. There is the Cbb Curvy all-in-one. Now this Curvy is about like the UNP girl. It might be, I'm hard pressed to say it's any curvier than that. It's about the same. So it's not too slender, but you know, and a little curvy, you know, but not a lot. So it just depends on what you like. And this is the Slim. Now they don't show pictures of the Slim. The Slim is really skinny, and you just have to you either like it or you don't. That's all it is to it. And obviously a good number of people actually do. So that is their business. That's fine. Yep. Okay. So there is, maybe I should look up Cbb Curvy and then Slim. Let's do it that way. I think that might work better for us. Because there is a replacer that you might be interested in, even if you use that all-in-one, or if you use, is there just a body? Yeah, like here is, this is a Skimpy replacer for the Cbb Curvy. Now it's pretty big, but it is there. And then this is another Skimpy outfit. It's not as big. I'm trying to let it load. Now this is, see, this shows the skinny body that I say looks so scary to me. But this actually is for the curvy body. So even though these pictures are of the skinny body, this is for the curvy body. But, yeah. Because it says so. But it is really, I did a show on this one time. So this is another Skimpy for the curvy outfits. And then you have, this is the only option you have, is this all-in-one. You don't have an option of just getting the body. So that's just the way it is. It's another reason I don't use CBBE in Skyrim, is that they've really made it uncomfortable to use. They've made it unpleasant to use because it's this all-in-one or it's nothing. And I don't like things like that because then that takes away choices from me. But anyway, so you have this. This is the body replacer. It also fits all the armor to your girl. Now, does it include a texture? Let me look here. Includes, okay. I'm not sure if it actually includes any texture. It might. Okay, so Oh, it says right there, body and face textures. I'm sorry. So it does have textures. So that's why it's so big. It refits all the armor, and then it has the body and face textures and facial tints and eyebrows and stuff. So it just has a little too much stuff, a little more than I want it to have. But then, and like I say, there's the curvy version and there's the slim version. Now then you have Terra Armors for Cbb Curvy, and they bothered to give you a few more pictures here. Now this mod is a little bigger, but this is Cbbe, and it does support vanilla males as well, so you do get the males, so that's nice. Is this that's just leveled list, so you do get this. It's pretty big, but it is available, so that's an option for outfits, and they're not all super sexy, but some are. And then there's some other little things, like I think this is a Cbbe. You know, there's some little things here and there. And then you have, this is a Skimpy outfit set, like I said. And then, like I said, there's some others here and there. I think this follower actually requires Cbbe for some reason. I don't remember if I ever did anything with that follower. We'll come back to Nephilim. And then there's this for the Cbbe Curvy. Okay, so for Cbbe, and then there's, you know, the occasional suit, you know, occasional suit, but not a lot. And that's all there is. That's really it for Cbbe. There's not a lot on the Xbox for it. What there is because of this initial mod is so big and overstuffed with stuff that I don't necessarily want, it just kind of pushes me not to take it. If this was the body only and then I could choose the textures and other things that I wanted, it would be a little more tempting. Just saying. Alright, so anyway, that's Cbbe Curvy. Now, for Slim, it's going to be very much the same thing, okay? I'm going to do Slim, but we're not going to see much difference. But I do want you to at least know that I checked it. Somebody told me I think they use Slim, and that's fine if you do. I just because it's not my thing doesn't mean anything. It's not all about me. So anyway, so here's the Slim, and again, it's just big. It's stuffed. This is the Slim Terra Armors, if you wanted the Slim version of that. And it's big too, but it does have the male outfits as well. And then there is the Slim version of this outfit for Keo's Skimpy outfits. And this time the pictures match because it's Slim. So there you go. And then, is this really for, I don't know. I don't think this is really for, no, don't worry about that. So there's even less for Slim than there is for the regular, for Curvy, because I think for the most part you can see that Slim is not as popular. It's not that it's not popular at all. Some people like it. You can see there's usually, this has almost 26,000. So a lot of people are happy just with that. Okay. And then you have this, and there's over 6,000 that like that. And then here there's over 10,000, almost 11,000. So that's a choice. That's what people like. So that's Cbbe Slim, and that's about all there is for that on the Xbox for Skyrim. Now we come to the Nephilim. Now the Nephilim is Cbbe based. Okay. But it could have actually been UNP, it could have been anything, and it wouldn't matter. But it is Cbbe based. Morgan Helson wanted that for some reason. I have no idea why. Really not any of my business. So, I tried, I think, this mod, and I had an issue with it. I don't know if it's been fixed. Maybe it has been. But nonetheless, it seemed to be there was an issue, possibly with the texture I was using or whatever, but I had everything set for Cbb, so. But nonetheless, so there are some stuff out here for Nephilim. Not a lot, but there are some things. This is the body for the Nephilim. And you can see, I mean, she's got a big top, and she's got a big booty. I mean, that's just the way it is, okay? And, you know, certainly there's nothing wrong with that, if that's what you like. Then there is this Khajiit and Argonian Replacer that utilizes that, and that is another, it's an NPC replacer, and it's an interesting mod. It really works way better for the Khajiits. The Argonians end up with a weird tail that I can't get rid of and I don't like. You can get rid of the Khajiit's tail, and matter of fact, you want to, because it just doesn't look right. So that's the only knock on that, is that the tails don't look right. And if you could remove the tails from the cats and the Argonians while you're doing the replacer, that would be perfect. But just a thought. Okay, so then there's the Amazing World of Bikini Armor. It says Cbbe, but it's actually in the Nephilim shape, okay? And that they say so down towards the bottom of the screen. It says Cbbe Nephilim shape. So it's actually in the Nephilim shape, which is fine. I mean, that's what Morgan Helsing was making this for, was for that purpose. So nothing wrong with that. So and then they actually provided a good number of pictures there. Okay. So some of these armor shapes in all these different Skimpy mods, I'm going to tell you that a lot of these you will see very similar or the same designs repetitively. It's all fine. I'm not complaining about that, but you will see that happen over and over. So for the Nephilim, there's not a lot here. I think we're missing one, though. Oh, I know what it is. Why didn't it show up in a search? Hold on. So for the Nephilim, we have this replacer. This replaces Khajiits and Argonians. This is the Amazing World Bikini Armor, which is kind of an armor add-on. It's not so much of a replacement as it is an add-on, okay? Then you've got a couple little extras here, which the Gila one I had trouble with. I haven't tried the Heavy Metal Princess one yet. Then there is another, let me hit the right button. There is another armor replacer you should see. I don't know why it didn't come up. It's this one. It's the Cbbe Nephilim shape BD UUMP armor and clothing replacer. This is the Skimpy. For Nephilim, this is the Skimpy version. So, now, Morgan Helsing did have a UUMP that was more 7 base OPI out there, but for some reason they left it in work in progress for a long time, and then they removed it after Wickwad did their version. So it's too bad. I kind of liked Morgan Helsing's version just a shade better, but that's life, can't help it. So it's done and over with. So anyway, so this Nephilim shape, this is the Skimpy armor and clothing replacer. They didn't really give you enough pictures to really see that, but it is. That's what it is. It's the UUMP Bad Dog. Is it Bad Dog 1978 or something like that? Well, they don't even say. They just say it's BD. That's Bad Dog UUMP. Anyway, it's those designs made to the shape of the Nephilim body. Alright. Now, for this compilation of bodies and armor replacers, I think that is everything. I think that's everything I can cover. If that's confusing, I'm sorry. Really go back through and just try to write it all down and get it all grouped together, and you'll see. I think right now on the Xbox, probably the most popular body that has the most stuff for it is probably the OwwThatSmarts body right now. It seems to have the most stuff for it. Because when I search for that, I come up with several bodies and quite a bit of other things. Or even if you wanted to just go 7 base, I think you would find quite a bit of stuff for just 7 base, even without that. And the UMPB is pretty popular too. I'm basing this just off of, you know, how many mods are there for this. Now, I know there's a lot of other mods and a lot of mixed and matched things. And there's a lot of older mods. But I'm just trying to look at, you know, what I've been seeing a lot of lately. A lot of what I've been seeing lately has been more towards the curvier side, and not as much for the non-curvy side. Okay, I'm just saying that's the way it seems. But you know, if you look, there is something for everybody out here, and you could find something that you like depending on what that is. Now, all of these that I've gone through are pretty good, and they all have something of benefit to them, or something that, you know, that would appeal to someone. That's what I mean. Someone would find them appealing. From the UNP to that basic UNP model to, you know, the Cbb Slim or whatever, everything in between, and the Nephilim and the Ingeljess and all that. You've got all these versions. That's a lot to look at. It's a lot to consider. But there's a lot there and available right now. So you should just try whatever you're interested in and see what you think of it. You know, take your time. Don't get in a rush to download and try everything all at once. Just say, okay, let's try. I mean, you know, assuming hopefully you're starting with kind of a clean slate game, and you're going to go like, well, let me try this body and this armor, the armor that goes with it. And just try it for a little while and see if you like it, see if it grows on you or fits you. Or if you hate it and you get rid of it, which is fine, that happens. You know, but just try one thing at a time and give it a whirl. Try out some of the different options that's there. Maybe you'll find something you like. Sometimes I just happen to find an outfit that I like for my guys or my girls, and I'm just like, I'll just stick with it for a while. It's kind of like Mercy's outfit right now, just sticking with it for a while. So, all right, that is everything. That is my bodies and Armour Replacer compilation. It is probably not the best, most organized compilation, but if you figure out what you like and go through and do some of these searches, I think you will find plenty of good stuff. It's possible that I could have missed some things very easily. I would never say that I don't miss something. I'm certainly not perfect, but I think this is more than enough to get somebody started. You can always even just do something like this. You might find this less satisfying, though. That's right. If you're looking for girly, skimpy stuff, this might be a little less, yeah, a little less satisfying. But there's some things you'll find. I'm not sure what all of this is, honestly. I didn't look at this. So this is weapons add-on. Okay. So see, there's some interesting stuff out here. Is this C? Oh, this is CBBE. So, okay. All right. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't know if any of this is not. Yeah, okay, so I don't know about all that. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. You can look for armors and see what you can find, and you might find something that's interesting to you, and that might determine the body that you would download, maybe. Who's Catherine? Okay, that's cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted now, as you can tell. Okay, so this was not a good idea. I'm getting off into a lot of different stuff, and it's not as helpful as I would like for it to be. So maybe armor isn't the way to go. But you could also look up, if this is what you're after, you can also look up Skimpy Now, it's going to have somewhat limited results, but you'll get some stuff. And this might help you determine what you want to do as far as what you want your body to be and stuff like that when you see what options you have. By the way, these mods right here are really bad. Unless they've been changed recently, they were really bad. Now you can check them again and see. Maybe I'm wrong. But they were really, really bad in the past. So anyway, just so you know. Anything else? Well, I missed this. There is a beautiful Mistress body. So let's look at that for a minute. Okay, there is one more body. This little armor with Skimpy Armor here, this one is actually good. It's worthwhile if you don't have a lot of space and you just want something like that. Does this fit the Seraphim or does this fit something else? Well, I don't remember what they made this for, but it worked well. It worked well with all my girls. So it's some kind of UMP body, but I don't remember how. You know, and it's a good fun mod with a lot of variations. But this is a very simple mod that adds some very nice stuff if you're looking for a little skimpy stuff, and it will work basically with any UMP body, though it was really made with the beautiful Mistress body in mind. Now, let me look that up. I don't think we're going to find a lot for beautiful Mistress, because I don't know who did that or where that came from. When I got here, it seemed to be popular in a way, but there was never a lot of mods for it, relatively speaking to other things. Alright, so like here is Beautiful Mistress complete, and this is, it says it's the alternative body mesh, and there they're showing you the max weight, and here they're showing you the unmax weight. It really kind of reminds me of the Seraphim body. Not exactly. I think the Seraphim body might have had a little more booty, but nonetheless, in the top there, looks very similar. I think Beautiful Mistress, the original... What's this? No, this is just an idol. Like lifelike idols. Yeah, the original Beautiful Mistress is gone. Yeah, so it's gone. So there's only this one. There's only this one. It sounds like the original Beautiful Mistress had like a bigger booty. I mean a bigger top, but this toned it down or whatever. So, and it says it still requires the main mod. It says place this under the Beautiful Mistress Complete Edition, which I don't think we have anymore. I don't see it anywhere. So but this replacer will still work. I know that, and it's a pretty good replacer. I've used it before. It was fun. Anything else? I think not. I think that's it. Now this armor, what was this made for? I don't remember which body this was made for, but this is a very good... Well, it says for any UMP body. So it's a very good armor if you like this, and any UMP body it says will do. I always thought it looked kind of like a 7 base, but maybe not. Nonetheless, so with Beautiful Mistress, I think, and what little bit there is here for it, you can use this armor replacer. This wait, does it add new meshes or does it replace them? I think it replaces the glass, the ancient Nord, the orcish, elven, steel, steel plate, wolf, savior's hide, dragon scale, dragon plate, nightingale, forsworn, ebony, and ebony mail. I don't think it replaces all of them, but it just replaces a bunch of them. But I don't think it covers everything, and it just makes them skimpy, kind of like what you see in this picture. I think I did a show on this a long time ago, and it's an interesting set of armors. It is. It's a fun set of armors. But the thing is, everyone in the world ends up wearing them, and for some people, it's too much. It drives them crazy to see everybody walking around all salutified like that. All right. Anyway, I think I'm done. It doesn't cover DLC armors. I think that was its thing. It doesn't cover any of the DLCs. Okay. And it doesn't cover DLCs, and there may be other things it misses too. But anyway, that's all beside the point at this time, at this juncture. That's it. I'm tired. I can't think of anything more. I've gone over every body and armor replacer that I remember and can think of, and I've even, just kind of glossed over and showed you a few extra armors that you can look at and do. A lot of stuff like that you can do out here. I hope that gives you a very good start to doing, your modding and picking, a body and some armors. What you really want is you want your body and your armor to match. You want to use as much as possible. Now, there may be exceptions, like if you use that beautiful Mistress armor replacer, there isn't really a good body for it. So just use it and accept that there could be minor issues with it. But I don't remember a lot of issues with it, honestly. But most of the times you want, like if you have a 7 base body, you want 7 base armor. If you have the OPI body, you want OPI armor. If you want UNP body, then you want the UNP armor. If you have UMPB, then you want UMPB armor. If you have Cbb Curvy, then you want the Curvy Cbb Curvy armor. If you have Nephilim, then you want the Nephilim armor. So, I mean, you try to match that up, because matching that up will give you the least, like if you ever see, sometimes when we'll have a break, like in the character's wrists, or a break, a real visible seam in their neck, where it's a weight issue, where the armor is saying one thing and the body is saying another, because the body and the armor aren't made from the same pattern. Basically, they're not the same. So you want them to match as much as possible. Sometimes you can mix and match, and a lot of times, I'll tell you, unless you get that vicious neck seam, now that's something different. Most times, if it's just a wrist or ankle thing, just put on your boots and gloves and go on your way. Nobody will know the difference. It doesn't matter. Because that's really very minor, and it's easy to cover up. Like I say, if you put on your boots and gloves, then you don't see that gap anymore. You don't see that break. So not a huge deal. But if it really bothers you, then definitely make sure you match those up. If you're using a Seraphim body, use Seraphim armor. That's a lot harder to do now, but I'm just telling you. But it can be done. So anyway, wow, I've really gone on for a long time, so I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope it gives you a good start. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, then wow, you are a trooper. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. Ooh, the fish man is wanting him some loving tonight. Look at that. That's why it was astoundingly awesome, Tails. Yes, that's because he just wants that girl right there. Attack of the fishmen. You know what kind of attack that's going to be. Oh, maybe I went too far with that.